everybody, welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're getting into Ready to Love, the reunion. Couldn't wait for this one. But before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let's get into the thing. So the reunion, Ready to Love. We've been waiting on this because they've been dragging this thing out for a minute. And like I said, it's my first season. I've heard a whole lot of this season sucks compared to all the other ones. Haven't watched any of the other ones. Maybe I should. Maybe I will go back, but not to review it. But anyway, let's talk about this one. This is the one we into. So the show opens with flashbacks to all the couples and all the things, that they did throughout the course of this process that they like to call it. Tori out here trying to tell everybody he was going to shift their kidneys. That's so immature. I would say that has to be a big part of why the women didn't take him seriously, because that sounds stupid as hell, honestly. They got Carmen out here sucking on pickles, and Dakia out here talking about her gag reflex. I talk a lot of shit. I do. I talk a lot of shit, but I don't remember ever having no discussion about my gag reflex with some nigga that, I'm on a date with during a process with a film crew. Okay, Dakia. Look, everybody's grown, so they can do all of these things. It was just a fun little flashback, but it kind of lends a little, I don't know, idea as to why, things kind of broke down the way they did. They talk about the blind dates. AP and Cornelius, oh, who the hell cares? Honestly, y'all, y'all are not part of the conversation. It just seemed kind of lame to see all these people, like from the very beginning, get dressed up for no reason. They should have just sat them all on the couch to sit there and be pretty. So Tina, Carmen, and Donovan, I can't remember who Tina's blind date was. Oh, they brought Tina in with young boy, Wiley. Her blind date was with Wiley. Wiley, of course, thinks she's beautiful. Tina is very beautiful. I feel like she may have been too mature for Wiley. I'm not sure what it was about Wiley that, I guess he just wasn't a fit. But he did seem a little immature, and not even immature, but young, youthful. Because I don't feel like he was any more immature than Tori over here talking about smashing kidneys or Justin or shifting or whatever the hell he was doing folks' kidneys. Eric, his first blind date was with Dakia, and they hit it off immediately. And then Shipman left, but they hit it off immediately. They really liked each other initially. Carmen, her first blind date was with Laverne. Odd combination, but she had a good time. He had a good time. I think they had a good time because neither one of them were serious about this shit. They were just out to have a good time, which is okay, but we're supposed to be over here ready to love. Donovan, who was his first date with? Carmen, I think. I can't remember who Donovan's first date was with, but he came in there slam. Donovan did with his pierced nose. Truth or Dare with Sabrina. So the Truth or Dare got Sabrina in a lot of trouble. I wonder why. I guess maybe, because we're getting all this backstory to what's going on. So Truth or Dare, they asked like, go kiss your favorite person. And Joy like leapt out of her seat and ran across the room to go kiss Clifton, but nobody was shocked about that. And then Sabrina, I suppose, publicly was seen with Tori a lot. And then in the elimination process, would always say that Tori was her top, And so I guess people just assumed that was her dude. She apparently has something going on over on the side with Demetrius or two. Like, we didn't get to witness a whole lot of that. Everything Demetrius did was so off camera that we didn't get to see any of the things he was doing besides being very stern and, stiff. So when Sabrina got up and kissed Demetrius on his ear or wherever she kissed him at, everybody was shocked. We were all shocked. She was like, well, if Joy hadn't been saying, go Tori, I don't really think that had anything to do with it. Joy been getting on my nerves, but not because of that, because I feel like we all thought you was getting ready to go kiss Tori. When you went over and kissed Demetrius, we were all like, okay. So Sabrina has a connection with Tori, which when crashing down the drain that night, she decided to get up and kiss Demetrius. I think too, like honestly, if you go get up and go kiss the other guy, she had probably made up in her mind that Tori is nice, but not really what she was looking for. So she was probably gonna ease off of that anyway. Tori didn't have any other connections. His sights were set on Sabrina alone, so he didn't get a chance to know anybody else. So he was super crushed when she did that. Her connection with Demetrius, like I said, she said herself, that he's very quiet and he moves very privately. So whatever they had, whatever connection they had was taking place off camera where we didn't see what was going on. And her connection with Donovan, she said if she had had a couple more drinks that night, she would have smashed Donovan. But I think that's not an unusual way to feel some type of sexual chemistry with somebody and then go, but there be nothing else. That's it. So don't try to play her like like she wasn't, doing what she was supposed to be. That just goes to show you how the male ego works when it comes to that kind of thing. It's a process, like they keep saying, it is a process. If you're gonna be dating multiple people, I think the difference is in real life, at some point you do choose. At some point you find the person that you really enjoy spending time with, and you kind of move off of whatever it was you were doing. Joy and Sabrina have this little thing, but they don't like each other. So there's that. They have a clique going on here. So that makes things a little bit weird and confusing too, because Joy and Donovan and Carmen and Clifton and also Demetrius are a friend group. So Sabrina wasn't going to work because Sabrina and Joy don't really click with each other. They weren't feeling each other like that. And so Sabrina had to go. She's not a part of the friend group. Carmen's in, Sabrina's out. That's how that's working. Demetrius said he wasn't shocked by the kiss because he knew what they had going on, and his top picks, he said his top picks the whole time were Sabrina and Joy. Did y'all know he had a connection with Joy? Because I missed that. I feel like that means he have a particular type too. And I was gonna say that before, but when Joy's name came out of his mouth, I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. He said, this is another thing. He said everybody was in his ear telling him that Sabrina is feeling Tori. So who is everybody? Who was telling him that? And so this is what was going on also. And I have a feeling it's because Clifton and Joy were so close to each other, they were also spilling tea. Because her feeling Tori means every time she goes in that deliberation, she says Tori is her number one. So he heard that from somebody. Now he over here hanging out with Joy and them. So I'm assuming that it came from somewhere over there in that corner. I feel like outside people sabotage Demetrius' opportunity to get to know someone better. Now that doesn't mean him and Sabrina were gonna be a match, but I also feel like he will never know because he let other folks punk him into making decisions based on their agenda. Carmen, her first date, she touched Laverne's butt and she sucked on Paul's pickle and she bent over for Clifton, and he wasn't feeling her blue eyes because he said it felt like Jesus was staring at him. She was squeezing all up on Eric. She was down to the bottom bunk with Donovan. Like, they over here talking about Sabrina has so many connections, but Carmen was connecting with quite a few folks, her daggone self. But the winner's Donovan. They love each other. So this is the question answer portion of the show. Tommy asked Carmen, what happened with you and Paul? Carmen said, at the cabin, he was acting like he wasn't really feeling her for the most part. And Paul said he was checking for other connections, basically. He wasn't feeling her. I'm gonna go with he thought Tina was coming and he was holding out for Tina. Paul, side note, Tina's 30, your daughters are 27. That means she's like in your daughter's friend group. Don't, Paul, stop. Worry about Tina. That's nasty. Tommy asked Donovan, where do him and Carmen stand? Donovan said, full speed ahead, baby. They done met families. They're pushing towards whatever the road takes them. Has she met your kids? Can she tell them what to do? Did she get a chance to, test her discipline skills? I mean, he said full speed ahead. They're all the way in. Tommy asked Carmen why she chose Donovan. This is the thing. We did not get to see Donovan and Carmen's fake ass love story, and maybe they like each other now, if you say so. If you say so, but I just feel like when they get asked questions, they have this script that they follow, nothing genuine or anything that makes sense. So Tommy asked Carmen, why did you choose Donovan? And she ran a list. She said, it was really weird. She was like, well, sometimes I'm a bad girl, but he's a bad boy. He gave me butterflies. The first time he gave me butterflies, he touched me on my leg. She said, he makes me laugh. We communicate well. It was just natural. Unlike her answer, that was not actually, that wasn't natural. It was just weird, like how she listed things off. She said, the first time he gave me butterflies, he touched my leg, and she was off onto, he makes me laugh. Like, it was just weird. Maybe he is funny, girl. I don't know. But y'all like it. I love it, I suppose. But both of them seem like they're acting, because Donovan is the same thing. Full speed ahead. We're ready to, like, we met each other's families, and I super duper califristic her. Maybe they do belong together because they're both kind of ill. Donovan, when did you choose Carmen? He said at the house. So at the house was just where everything went down. When they got done over this house, then that's when all the choices were made. He said, this was what tripped me out though. He said he went there to the house to rule people out. And based on their actions and their words, like he didn't write that down somewhere, Donovan. He said Tina didn't show. Tina was his number one. Carmen, just in case you didn't catch that. Tina didn't show. He didn't say anything about Sabrina because that little situation is tense. That conversation comes up a little bit later, but the fact of the matter is him and Sabrina had Sabrina chose Demetrius. That's what that was. Sabrina chose Demetrius, so he was left with Carmen, and then he took her to the bottom bunk, and that solidified everything. And then when Tina showed up the next day, he was like, "I'll be damned." That's how he was. That's the vibe he was giving Carmen, just in case you were wondering. Eric and Dakia. They had a wonderful blind date connection. They show Carmen on a date with Eric, and she's rubbing all on his arm and saying stupid shit like she always does, like save the best for last. And if I want to be with Eric, I can have him. I mean, that's what she said, child. So then what happened? If you wanted to be with Eric, you could have him. But when him and Dakia fell out, he just left the show. So explain that one. So he was on a date with Dakia and the shit went left. And apparently he got handsy and she didn't like it. That's the end of the story. I don't know. I feel like, because it was a text thread running around, the internet, that it was him calling her names like gerbil mouth, and he got nasty, but we see that he can do that. And that's the thing that I thought was weird. He said the way they were communicating made him think it was okay. He said he shouldn't have done it around other people. I feel like, Eric, that's so immature though. Like, she's a grown-ass woman. Do it around other people. Why would you do that in front of other people? That seems very much like a college boy thing. You are a grown-ass man grabbing some woman in front of other folks that you don't, that you've only gone on dates with. So I don't know what other way she was supposed to respond. I mean, grab Carmen's titties, this she what she do. Maybe that's what you're used to. Jesus. It's just so childish and disrespectful, Eric, but it's okay, bro, because we know you're not sorry for real. He said he did not misread where they were in their connection. And yeah, you did, because had you read this room, you wouldn't have been grabbing on her inappropriately, disrespectfully, like a child. He said that he thought that they were ready to be, I thought we were ready to be a couple, and I apologize. And then Dakia said she accepted his apology, but she wished she would have got it earlier because of what came after that. And this was when Dr. Jekyll turned into Mr. Hyde, because out the blue, that calm talking Eric that was sitting at the top of the stage calling her a lovely person turned into an asshole. People started talking shit, and that's when this whole text thing, I think when he left, conversations started happening, something got back to him. She told him she wanted to talk. He said, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Somewhere he did call this lady a gerbil mouth. Things got ugly, because that's what he does in his Dr. Jekyll thing. He'll be really nice, and then all of a sudden, he flipped out. He got nasty. Joy thinks that's funny. That's what was bugging me. Like, I'm like, Joy, okay, so you don't like Dakia. We fine. She was trying to get, one of Clifton's choices, and based on other things that have happened behind the scenes that we don't know nothing about, you have an issue with Dakia, but that was inappropriate, and and the shit wasn't funny. So you're being an asshole, and it's annoying. Other people were involved in the conversation. And he kept trying to like tell her things like, don't involve other people. She was like, she told him like, basically he was saying like, you liked it for the most part. Like, I grabbed you. The only thing is it was in front of other people. And she was pretty much like, no, in that moment I told you I didn't like it. Like, I turned around, pushed you off and said, I don't know who you think you are. And then she got Paul to confirm that that's what happened. And Paul confirmed it. And this nigga got extra energy. And don't bring other people into this. That's what I'm talking about. So, and then Joy felt the need to console him because he needed to be consoled. That's just right. But whatever, girl. You can not like the kid, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And if he put his hands on her and she didn't receive it, but Dakia, I hope you weren't over here telling this man that your gag reflex was good, because that might lead him to believe it's okay to do that. I'm not saying it is okay, but I'm saying you miss prim and proper which thing are you really gonna be? Are you gonna be prim and proper, or are you gonna let somebody know like how far they can stick their dick down your throat before it gag on it? I'm just assuming that's what that meant. When you brought that, or it's just like you were feeling clipped in that kind of way and not Eric that kind of way. I'm sorry, that probably won't be received well, but whatever. Sabrina, Tori, Demetrius, and Donovan, they flash back on their dates. Like they're having Sabrina's moment with like her different connections. Sabrina said the thing that happened with Donovan and her is he seemed like he was more focused on the process than the connection. He said he didn't know that was an issue. And I said that like before. I feel like Sabrina comes up with these issues in her head, but she don't say nothing to them. I don't think it would have mattered, or I don't know how it would have mattered, but I do feel like when Sabrina brings up a concern or observation, as she calls it, it's always like the dude is blindsided by that because she never said anything about it. Because she could have said that, like, dude, what are you trying to win the game, or are you trying to connect with somebody? Because he did say, well, Tina wasn't there and Sabrina was, trying to give it this nigga. And, so I was left with this girl who's now the love of my life because she was the only option. He also had mentioned, she said, now she's just throwing him under the bus because she's pissed, that if he got there earlier, he would have got with Joy. Apparently he told that to a couple of different people. He told it to Precious and he told it to Dakia. Maybe. I mean, I guess, well, obviously his connection with Joy's connection with Clifton was very instant and very genuine. So I wasn't nothing he was gonna be able to do to break that bond because they clearly had a real bond. But he probably figured he would have went that, that was his type. He would have went for that. Joy is pretty and outgoing, and I can see why he would be attracted to that energy. So that doesn't, okay, Sabrina. He called them niggas the Golden Girls because they was all attacking him. Precious came to have her moment. She's still mad. I think that they said she was a party girl, so she out here trying to argue with everybody. I don't even know why she's still on the couch. Tori basically couldn't handle that he wasn't her first choice. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that either. Because like if we're pursuing whatever connection we have, and then they asked you to get up and who are you most connected with, and you get up and you kiss somebody else, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. Like I'm still gonna be forging full speed ahead. I don't think so. I don't think there was anything wrong with his reaction. I think he was just too emotional, outwardly emotional about it. I guess he should have just took them feelings to the house. Because people are judging him for reacting that way. And I mean, it's because Tori, it's a process. It's not her fault that you decided that you were jumping all the way in with her and you didn't take any time to nurture any of the other relationships. Because had you done that, things might have ended up differently for you. But you had decided Sabrina was your girl, and no, she wasn't, child, because she was over here having secret meetings with Demetrius and putting her mouth on Donovan. So now we're gonna talk about that. Sabrina chose not to meet Demetrius's family, and she said they were rocky. So I remember in my last video, I was so confused as to how they ended up with these ups and downs. We were close and we were not close. So apparently, off camera, Donovan and Sabrina had a date and they kissed multiple times. So the frick what? She didn't already said she was attracted to this man physically. She said if she had a couple more cocktails, he might get lucky. So there's no surprise in that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But the issue is Donovan decided to then tell Demetrius, and Demetrius fell for that punk ass thing. And this is what I think happened. So she kissed Demetrius. And when he got to the cabin, he is 100% interested in pursuing a connection with Tina, but she didn't come. So I don't know why he's so pissed off because, he had other stuff going on too. I don't know if he kissed anybody, but he had some other things going on. I remember when they were sitting at the table, because he said something about how she was engaging with other people meaning Demetrius. So they were sitting at that table and she was feeding him pizza. And and he was feeling the way about that. Like I knew that bothered him, but now I know why it bothered him so much. Is because he was over here kissing Sabrina, so he thought that the whole weekend was gonna be more about him and Sabrina getting it on, I guess, than him and Crooked Mouth Carmen with the fake blue eyes. Demetrius then told his mother, "Oh, what did you tell your mother? The girl I like was kissing somebody else?" Demetrius, that's stupid. And now you want her to meet your mother. So now I see why she didn't want to meet his mother, because that's gonna be weird. Demetrius said he wish Sabrina would have told him instead of Donovan. But this is the thing, Demetrius, y'all are still in the process. Sabrina may have told you, but she didn't get a chance to because Donovan run his damn mouth. So in the process of her deciding that she wanted to be with you, imagine how that would have went if you had said nothing and just seen what was gonna happen. And or you could have asked her, so what's really up with you and Donovan? Like there's other ways to have handled that. But telling your mama probably wasn't the best way. Anyway, Sabrina kissed Donovan so the fuck what. That's how I feel about that. Demetrius, maybe you should have been over here kissing somebody too. To see if that's what you really wanted. But you didn't. So there. Oh, Laverne, he's a fan of himself. And what the hell is he wearing? Why is he sitting up there dressed like a 4-year-old going to take pictures at the JCPenney photo studio? Did I say 6-year-old? Maybe I mean 3-year-old. Seriously, he got on baby clothes. Ace looks beautiful. I don't know, something about that dress and those gloves that were way too much, but I was feeling it anyway. I just thought she looked really pretty. She said her and Laverne were not looking for the same thing. I think Ace is generally looking for a relationship, and I don't know, Laverne is looking for socks to match his stupid shorts. She should be grateful that she dodged that bullet. There's something wrong with him. She blocked him on social media, probably because she didn't want to see that shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to look at it either. But Ace, just consider yourself lucky that you are not dealing with Laverne, because something is wrong with that kid. Tommy asked Ace if she would like to continue with Laverne. Why? No, she does not. Why do you put her in that position? She's so nice. She's just like, oh, that's to be determined. And she don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. They talk about the plot to get Laverne. There wasn't no plot to get Laverne. So that's pretty much how that shit ended. Laverne thinks there was a plot to get at him because what's this girl? Precious said that Carmen called her to get, and she was gonna call Sabrina and Tina to get them to vote against Laverne. I don't know what any of that was. I don't think it matters anyway, because if you wanted a connection, the person that you were supposed to have connected with was there and you didn't do it. So somebody gotta go. Anyway, child, I guess we're gonna see next week the continuation of the reunion. What I will say is these people had a lot going on behind the scenes, so that definitely makes things a little more clear. You almost have to watch the social media pages and the Instagram, because when I look at Instagram now, all I see is Joy, Carmen, Donovan, and Demetrius. Demetrius has aligned himself with the nigga that punked him out of getting, who knows what out of it. And at the end of the day, even if it's not a love connection, you could have had a life connection, a friend connection with someone who clearly you were connected with at some point, but okay, y'all want to hang out with Donovan and Carmen. Anyway, that's how that's going down. So yeah, I guess we'll see how the shit plays out with this crazy ass girl Precious next week on part 2 of the meeting. In the meantime, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.